Welcome to Kaleidoscope and welcome to Baltimore. Yes, we are in the state of Maryland in the USA and we are traveling. Maryland is called the greatest city in the world. The beautiful waterfront promises incredible views, as you can see. It's the home of baseball legend Babe Ruth and writer Edgar Allan Poe. And the Star-Spangled Banner was written right here in this city. An art lover's haven, this city has a fantastic aquarium as well as the Baltimore Museum of Art holds the world's most extensive Matisse collection. And of course, the incredible Maryland crab is a gourmet treat. Later on in the show is a champion of little people, a proponent of Sri Lanka's business case, and making cane a tool for empowerment. From this amazing waterfront here in Baltimore, we say a big thank you to our sponsors, CDB, Seneca Life, The Daily Morning, and of course, Dawn's Tea. If you like us, do subscribe and follow us. We are on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and LinkedIn.
You can now start a CDB iDeposit digital fixed deposit and experience a range of special benefits from CDB.
From Baltimore, Maryland in the USA, we are taking a quick look at the week that was on CDB Snapshot. In the first half of 2023, government revenue tops the 1.3 trillion rupee mark, with 1.19 trillion of it being tax revenue. Inflation decelerates further to 4.6% in July from June's 10.8%, and food inflation is at a negative 2.5%. Sri Lanka repays $50 million of the $200 million loan taken from Bangladesh. Investments in clean energy projects must go up to $4 trillion by 2030 if the world is to limit global warming to 1.5 degrees Celsius annually. A man breaks the law to hang out his marsupial friend, a wallaby, in Coney Island.
You focus on your goals. We will take care of the risks. Srilanka Life.
Welcome to Srilanka Life News Capsule. Sri Lanka needs more investments is a statement we've heard of. While the government says its economic development policy is well received internationally, what do we really need to do to secure FDIs? Chair of the Sri Lanka Institute of Directors, Aroshi Nanekara, says that Sri Lanka needs to present a positive business case to grow FDIs. She was in our studio this week.
Sri Lanka is putting herself out for FDIs. Given the current climate, what are the fundamentals we have in place and what do we really need to get into place?
As a country, we have a lot going for us, which we don't quite believe in ourselves either. A lot of the foreigners do see that in us, and one of the key things is our people. They are educated, they are highly intelligent, they are literate, and the ones who are coming into the private sector and getting molded properly have the work ethic that we might not necessarily see in everybody out there. So that is one main thing that is going for us. In terms of the infrastructure also, we have, I think, excellent telecom communication. We have the roads, all of that going for us. And we are in a position geographically in a place where we can really maximize and use that potential for our benefit. In terms of where we are lacking, we have to bring in place discipline. We are still looking at the culture we had. We are looking at the influences we have had in terms of the foreign, legacies that were brought on us, and we haven't still quite married the two together to figure out what is our new way of operating and the new way of being. And the governments that have come in haven't really cemented that whole structure. So we have a challenge there. I think one of the key things that we really have to do is to bring that within a framework. Governance, it needs to be that framework of how we operate and how we behave. Bring that within ethics, integrity, civility, respect for each other, bring it within that governance structure.
Governance is an important part of us growing. But besides that, you mentioned about people. In the last 3 years, have people's attitude towards work and the way they work changed in any way? What are the differences you find?
As the corporate sector, the whole thing was stood on its head by the COVID pandemic. And world over, not just in Sri Lanka. This whole thing about coming into work, reporting into work, being there 9 to 6 or whatever it was no longer valid. For one thing, because Sri Lanka gets hit by so many things, our people are very resilient. Our managers are resilient, our workers are resilient. And the pandemic was yet another thing that we had to figure out what to do with. And that's why I spoke of intelligence. We are very intelligent. And I think we have done certain things where none of the other countries really got on to that. We get onto the bandwagon much faster. But I think the work ethic to a certain extent gone down a little bit, which has to be revamped. Another thing that came about through the pandemic was that technology really took off because you had no other option but to adopt technology. And now with AI and machine learning and all of that coming in, we have to constantly look at how do we retrain, how do we reskill our people. And once again, that whole discipline, the governance structure, even for the human element, while you're looking at the corporate element as well.
And now for our market sketch. At the Colombo Stock Exchange this week, the all-share price index moved down by 1%, while average daily turnover levels edged closer to 3 billion rupees. Saudi and Russian output cuts have had little effect on WTI oil prices, which slid close to $80 per barrel on weakening crude demand from China. Gold prices were at a 5-month low, falling below $1,900 per ounce due to high US bond yields. Jurassic Park might be a fiction, but T-Rexes are real. A horse racing track turns prehistoric every year to host the T-Rex World Championships. This year, over 200 dinosaurs ran down the track cloaked in inflatable T-Rex costumes. The world's largest cruise ship, the luxurious icon of the seas, is now open for business. It's 1,198 feet long and has a total of 20 decks and can carry 20,000 people. The biggest hunt in 50 years is on, and it's for the Loch Ness Monster. Obviously, lots seem to believe the mythical creature is real, and I sure hope they find it.
Sri Lanka is home to a diverse array of people who stand tall and proud even if they are just a little. But people with achondroplasia are often dissed and discriminated against to the point where they feel cornered and don't even want to step out of their homes. Well, Darshini Nanayakara, the founder of the Little People Association of Sri Lanka, is here to set the record straight about people with achondroplasia and to shed some light into an oft unexplored experience faced by some of those in our society. What inspired you to start the Little People Association?
Something which is there internationally, but whereas in Sri Lanka nobody has formed it. With this community I wanted to form it and bring them to the limelight so they are accepted as normal in the social life.
What are your goals for the members of your association?
First one is socially accepting them as normal people, to provide them with jobs in the private sector and the government sector. What happened is they are not considering the education, they are highlighting the height and discriminating and not giving the job opportunity.
What misconceptions are there about people with achondroplasia?
First is the name in Sinhala language. What I mean is they call them as Kurumito, Agutumito. Actually, there was no Sinhala word for this, I think. After I formed this association, the university had gone in and looked for a name, and they found the name Mihimit, Mihimit Prajava, closer to the earth.
What is the best part of your work with the Little People Association?
When I have these events, what they tell me is that they are not being invited for a get together. Socially, they are not accepted or taken out. Now, few of my members, they are being invited for musical shows, for reality shows. So they have the opportunity to compete with the others. That fear went off, the shyness have gone. There was a one girl, you must have seen also in the media. She's participating in a reality show. Now she is selected for the last 150 out of thousands. She sings, plus she's like, dancing on the stage.
Well, personally for you, what are some of the challenges you have experienced in life as a person with achondroplasia?
Starting from school, school also, the primary head that didn't want to take me, not the principal, the primary head. I never got the opportunity to do other activities, like I also like to participate in drama, sports, speeches, which I was not given because of my height. After school, of course, I did my management and accounting, and then when it came to the job wise, the same thing. When you go to face the interviews, they look at me in a different way, not the qualifications. Marriage was a big challenge, but I have to say I got a good husband. He really looks after me well, and you know Sri Lankan culture as such, like parents all were against his parents.
What would you say to people with achondroplasia who are afraid to live as themselves?
Don't have any kind of a fear. Let go of what others think and say. If best, like, to be qualified and to educate themselves, because education nobody can rob. Most of the members halfway they have stopped from schooling because of these issues, saying names and being discriminated by the other children.
What can we do to help this community of people feel seen and also appreciated?
We should share with our children that in this world there are different people, and that acceptance should be there. The media should also not make these people as jokers. Most of our members are taken for clowns, comedy acts, good, but they should have the respect. And the other thing is, my members all say we don't want sympathy.
Darshi, good luck with all the good work you're doing. This is a little gift from the sponsor of this segment, Don's Tea.
Thank you so much.
This is Life in 60 from Baltimore in the USA. What happens when you cross a local craft with digital marketing? You get E-Cane. For Mixera Benaragama, team lead of E-Cane eco-friendly green products, bringing together local artisans and teaching them the ways of digital world is important. And the outcome? Happy smiles, thriving businesses, empowered individuals making beautiful things.
E-Cane is a project focused on revitalizing the traditional cane industry in Sri Lanka through new marketing strategies like e-commerce and social media marketing. This is an initiative of a small youth group consist of only 6 members, funded and partnered with a program called YCLI. After doing a need assessment at the largest cane village in Sri Lanka, Radhavaduna Vevaldeniya, we identified a huge problem. Unfortunately, there was no one under the age of 30 in the cane industry. The main reason was the poor market, and they haven't adapted to new marketing strategies. So we came up with a project to have sustainable market for themselves with e-commerce and social media platforms. We identified 7 families of cane artisans, gave them a 11-session training with a future partnership with Daras. Our ultimate aim is to have global marketing opportunities to the cane artisans and save this dying cane industry.
So it's bye from Baltimore this week. God knows where we'll be next week, but we'll see you there.